here are the top stories of the news. Troops rescue abducted victim following a successful security operation in Kano. President Tinubu attends Eyo Festival, says it promotes Nigeria's tourism potential. On the foreign scene, President Zelensky to meet President Trump in Florida for talks on Ukraine peace plan. And good afternoon and welcome to Spring News at 12 on Western Spring Television. My name is Femi Da Silva. We begin with security as the troops of the Joint Task Force Faruruwa have rescued an abducted victim following a successful security operation along the Kano-Katsina border in the early hours of Sunday. The Army Public Relations Officer, 3 Brigade Nigerian Army, Kano Major Zubair Babatunde, said the operation followed a credible tip-off received at about 1 a.m. on the movement of armed bandits from the Dorawa and Kira axis of Katsina State towards the Kano axis. According to him, troops operating from the forward operating base, Yankwada, swiftly mobilized the fighting patrol to the fringes of the Kano-Katsina border to intercept the suspected bandits. Babatunde said that during the encounter, one kidnapped victim identified as 38-year-old Rabiu Alhaji Halilu was rescued by the troops. According to him, Halilu sustained a gunshot wound to his leg during captivity and was promptly evacuated to the JTF Faruruwa Medical Center, where he is currently receiving treatment. No fewer than 7 persons were killed on Saturday when an improvised explosive device detonated along the Magami-Dansado Highway in Maru local government area of Zamfara State. The blast occurred around Yagada community, triggering panic among residents and road users. A resident of Dansado, Abubakar Dansado, told the newsman that the incident happened in the afternoon and affected a trailer conveying passengers and farm produce and motorcyclists. Confirming the incident, the senior special assistant to the state governor on media and public affairs, Mustafa Jafaru Kora, said the explosion was caused by an improvised explosive device IED, allegedly planted by fleeing bandits loyal to the notorious bandit leader, Dogo Gide. Kora explained that troops had earlier engaged the bandits and neutralized some of them, but were unaware that explosives had been planted along the route. In the meantime, the federal government, through the Office of the National Security Advisor, ONSA, has announced the graduation of over 7,000 newly recruited forest guards drawn from 7 frontline states. This was disclosed in a statement released by the Special Assistant Media to the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Rabiu Ibrahim, on Saturday. He said this followed the successful completion of an intensive 3-month training program under the Presidential Forest Guards Initiative launched by President Bola Tinubu in May. According to him, the initiative represents a coordinated federal-state security intervention aimed at reclaiming Nigeria's forests from criminal exploitation. The graduation ceremonies were held on Saturday across Borno, Sokoto, Yobe, Adamawa, Niger, Kwara, and Kebbi states. The program is designed to strengthen Nigeria's internal security architecture by denying terrorists, bandits, and kidnappers and other criminal groups sanctuary within forested and hard-to-reach terrains. And turning to politics, a minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has described himself as the most abused politician in Nigeria today after President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as he declared that politics in Rivers State will officially commence from January 2026. Wike spoke on Saturday during a special Thanksgiving service organized by the South-South Development Commission's Ibudom Nwuche and his family in Ochiba community, his hometown in Hawada East local government area of Rivers State. The former Rivers State governor said he does not renege on any agreement he enters and reiterated his unwavering support for Tinubu. The FCT minister made a veiled reference to the recent defection of Rivers State Governor Siminala Ifubara from the People's Democratic Party to the All Progressives Congress, suggesting their support for Tinubu was belated.
But we did it when it was all for people to Oya mandate will stand. You stood stand. I say Oya mandate will stand. And the glory of God will stood. And Oya mandate will stand today is very strong. So you are the ones who made the mandate to be strong. After the last name is stand. So all these people now you are seeing, and the man they will start that time, when they were needed most, they couldn't sing that. They couldn't come out to say, first for Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Now that you stood and voted for him, and River State won, I tell you, all your struggle will not go in vain. All your struggle will not go in vain. So we have come to let you know that still be strong. Nigerians know us. When we take a decision, we have taken a decision. We don't take decision based on what people have seen. We take a decision based on we are convinced, we believe that this will happen. You stood firm even when you are not in power.
In another development, President Bola Tinubu joined thousands of Lagos residents and cultural enthusiasts at the grand finale of the 2025 festival, marking the return of the iconic cultural parade after an 8-year hiatus. The colorful event, held at Tafawa Balewa Square, Lagos, featured the president dressed in a traditional white robe, damask sash, and distinctive hat associated with Eyo masqueraders. Disclosing this in a statement on Saturday, presidential spokesman Bayo Onanuga said Tinubu maintained that the festival indicates and traditions hold immense tourism potential and should be harnessed as valuable tools for destination promotion. Tinubu, noting the festival as a vibrant expression The Eyo Festival, which dates back to 1854, was held this year for the first time in 8 years. In his welcome address, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu of Lagos State described the event as historic and a cultural homecoming for the president. The governor commended traditional institutions under the Oba of Lagos, Rilwan Akiolu, for reviving the festival. The Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, the SERAP, has filed a lawsuit against the 35 state governors and the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, over their alleged failure to account for the spending of about 14 trillion naira released as fuel subsidy savings. Other respondent includes the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation. SERAP said the governors and the FCT minister have collected trillions of naira as increased allocations from the Federation Account Allocation Committee following the removal of fuel subsidy in May 2023, but the funds have not translated into improved access to quality healthcare, education, and other basic services for poor and vulnerable Nigerians. The suit was filed last Friday at the Federal High Court in Lagos State, according to a statement signed on Sunday by SERAP's Deputy Director, Kolawole Oluwadare. SERAP is asking the courts to direct and compel the respondents to disclose details of how the increased FAAC allocations, described as fuel subsidy savings, have been spent since mid-2023. It is also asking the courts to compel the governors and Mr. Wike to disclose details and the allocation of the projects executed, if any, with the increased FAAC allocations. You're watching Spring News at 12 on Western Spring Television. We will be right back after this break.
Our comedy is winning fans globally, but we are losing our wildlife to illegal bushmeat, and this is not funny at all. If we continue this way, we will risk losing all our animals and leaving nothing behind for the generations to come. Tell your family and friends not to buy or sell illegal bushmeat, because protecting nature protects us all.
The Korean War of 19...
And thanks a ton for staying locked in. You're still watching Spring News at 12 on Western Spring Television. And now talking business. The Nigerian Independent System Operator, NISO, has announced a notable improvement in power generation following the repair and restoration of the vandalized Lagos Escravos gas supply infrastructure. According to the statement by the operator, the repair was carried out by the Nigerian Gas Infrastructure Company, which it said had enhanced the gas supply to several key thermal power plants across the country. The update followed recent reports of poor power supply across the country. NISO said the development is a positive step towards stabilizing the electricity supply and improving grid reliability for consumers nationwide. The statement added that other thermal power plants remain available and on standby, awaiting confirmation of gas supply from their respective suppliers. On the foreign scene, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and US President Donald Trump will meet in Florida today to hammer out a plan to end the war in Ukraine, but face major differences on crucial issues and provocations from Russia air attacks. Russia struck Kiev and other parts of war-torn Ukraine with hundreds of missiles and drones on Saturday, knocking out power and heat in parts of the capital. Zelensky called it Russia's response to the ongoing US-brokered peace efforts. Zelensky has told journalists that he plans to discuss the fate of eastern Ukraine's contested Donbas region during the meeting at Trump's Florida residence, as well as the future of the Zaporizhia nuclear power plant and other topics. The Ukrainian president and his delegation arrived in Florida late on Saturday, Ukraine's Deputy Foreign Minister, Serhiy Kalastista, said on X. Moscow has repeatedly insisted that Ukraine yield all of the Donbas, even areas still under Kiev's control, and Russian officials have objected to other parts of the latest proposal, sparking doubts about whether President Vladimir Putin would accept